is not really a Bible study as such, whatever as such means. But I just wanted to share a few things, like about the history of the early church. I think last week we got all the way. We kind of left after Peter and John were in prison, got kicked out, and they came back and started preaching again, somewhere along that line. And this is not verse by verse, it's not even chapter by chapter, or even year by year, but I feel like we're going somewhere with what God is speaking to me here about the church. Because we so often think, we live in a unique time. Well, it's probably unique for us, but it's about as unique as it's been for the last couple thousand years. When Jesus was born, the world was in a mess. During the early years of the church, the world was in a mess. It seems like it kind of goes in and out of messes in a way. So, if we kind of pick up, like, I know we're in chapter 4, we're skipping chapter 5, not because it's not important, but it's just another detail that you can fit in. So, once the church got up and rolling, the first time you find any kind of difficulty is in chapter 6 when there was some complaining. There was complaining that I suppose we would even call it racial today. But there was the complaint about the fact that somebody brought up, or I don't know how many somebodies there even might have been, but they said, well, the Jewish widows get better treatment than our widows do. And which may or may not be so. But, but that's really a very childish thing, isn't it? And when that's that kind of a childish thing, there's nothing that can explain anything. I think about the fact, okay, there's 2 children, okay. So one kid gets 2 cookies, one gets 1. Well, it's not fair, he got 2, I only got 1, wow. And then maybe the mom tries to explain that, but his cookies are really small, yours is bigger, so you both got the same. No, he got 2, I got 1. See, when you get into this, you don't reason anymore. There's just no reason. So the church did what was, I'm going to say, the right thing to do. Because up to this time, now there's at least 5,000 Christians in the city of Jerusalem. And there's 12 people that are kind of carrying the whole load. And they just end up confessing and saying, we just can't do it all. So they give this great advice: choose seven men, full of the Holy Spirit, people who have a good report. It wasn't just pick any old Harry or John or whatever. Pick some guys that have got character. And then we'll put them in charge, I guess, at what we would call the business end of things. The food distributions, the taking care of widows or children. That, I'll just call it, for lack of a better word, the physical stuff of the church. And so they chose 7. After they prayed a while, they chose 7. Their names are all listed there for you. Only 2 of the names you probably recognize, because 2 names come up again later on. That's Philip and Stephen. And we probably know Stephen even better, because here he is. He's the first one to be martyred, but he's still murdered. And so we recognize him. So I wanted to look at things that kind of have results. So what was the result of this decision to choose some men who would handle this situation. And then the 12 said, and we will continue the ministry of prayer and preaching. Prayer and the word. So, so that's what they did. They chose these 7 guys, and they took the responsibility of all the physical stuff, and the 12 continued on with preaching and prayer and ministry, what we would probably call, we heard rumors you were coming.
Oops.
Your foot.
Can you believe it?
Yes, you kicked it.
I did. She's like, don't touch it. Don't touch it, don't touch it. I can hold it there. Yeah, no,